Welcome back to Shivcore. In the previous episode, we learned the fundamentals of loops in C++, for loop, while loop, and do while loops. Now it's time to put that knowledge into action. In this practice lab, we will solve 10 carefully selected loop problems starting with basic counting and gradually gradually moving to challenging questions like Fibonacci, prime numbers, reverse numbers, and palindromes. Before every solution, I will ask you to pause the video and try solving the problem on your own. That's how you will build real programming skills. So open VS Code and get ready to code. And now let's begin. So complete C++ course set 10 beginner to intermediate loop exercises you can implement it and test in VS Code. Every card includes the problem, required concepts, sample input outputs, hints, common mistakes and learning outcomes. So coming to first question, print numbers from 1 to n. Simply in this question, we have to read an integer n and print numbers from 1 to n using a loop. Concept required are loop, specifically for loop, variables, increment operator, sample input. If we give 10, then it should give output as 1 to 10. Hint is that deciding start is 1, condition should be I is less than equal to n and increment is I plus plus. Common mistake can be forgetting to increment the loop variable causing infinite loop. So understand basic loop execution and control flow in C++. So coming to our VS Code, for this question, let us say, firstly you should think about logic. So if I say we need to print every number starting from 1 until n, then my question to you is that where should counting start? Or I can say where should the counting stop? Simply the answer is the counting should start with 1 and the counting should end at n. So simply our answer says that start value will be 1, stop value will be n and increment will be 1. A simple for loop can be used. Simple, the algorithm reaches the value of n, starts a loop from 1, continues until n and prints the current number. So now let us start the code. Hashtag include iostream using namespace standard int main. Here I will say int n and I will say user to enter number to count till that number starting from 1, and I will take this as n in input. So further I will take a for loop. I will say int I is equal to 1, I is less than equal to n, I plus plus. And now I will say simply cout I and endl. Endl is important so that it understand that it's the end of the line, so the output will be nicer. So now when I run the code, in the terminal it says enter the number to count till that number starting from 1. If I say 10, simply it gives 1 to 10 as input. Let me show you if I don't use endl what will happen. Now when I run the code, and I say 10, it will still give the output. But instead of taking a single line for the output, it will give all of it in a single line output. So depending on the way you want the output, you can modify it. Doesn't mean that you have to use only this way or you have to use only this way. It always depends on the variety you want to do or the question requires you to do. So simply I will include handle here. It's a little nicer. So coming back to our presentation. So here the next question is print even numbers from 1 to n. The concept required is loop, if statement, modulus operator. If the sample input is 20, then it should give all the even numbers from 2 to 20 because 2 is the first even number. So you can also understand like up to 20 if the 20 is given as input. Hint is that inside the loop you can use if statement and then print I. Alternately, you can also start at 2 and step it by 2 so that you can directly get even number only till that. So in that case you will won't require if, but we will use if and we will do it the harder way, because that it is not like a harder way, but it is like it will be easier to understand the variety of question to do, and that it is better to do that way only. So coming to our next question, question number 2, include IO stream using namespace standard. Int main, as you know, here we will say return 0. So one thing that you should understand, that the logic before writing the code is that which numbers do we need to print and what is common among all even numbers, and if every number between 1 and n are even, then we have to print only that number which is even. So the simple answer that this comes to is that the number that is divisible by 2 and it is simply even. So whenever we use modulus, it gives remainder, and whenever the number is even and it is divided by 2, the remainder is always 0 because it totally divides it. So simply we will take number modulus 2 inside the number. So that's the way you should do it, and that's the correct way to do it. So coming back to our question, here if I say int n cout, enter the number to count, enter the number till you want even numbers, and I will take n as input. So now I will say for int I is equal to 1, I less than equal to n, I plus plus, and inside the for loop I will use if number modulus 2 is equal to 0, then only print I and make it end of that line. So the important thing you should understand here is that I is already only when the number is modulus by 2, and it is always come then whenever it is even number. And one more thing you should understand here is that for the question, you have to use double equal to. Single equal to won't work here. You have to use double equal to. So let us try the question code and run it. So enter the number till you want even numbers. So when I say 60, so it gave me all numbers till 60. And the reason behind this is very simple, that in the question I is going from 1 to n, and if I want the number to be divided by 2 and give only the even numbers here, so simply I will use number modulus I modulus 2. The input should be I modulus 2, not n modulus 2, because value of I is increasing, not value of n is increasing. So that was the tricky thing to do with you. Be aware towards the question and do find these things, because it just increases your ability to think more and more. And the more you think and more you code, more you understand. And now again, if I write 60 here, see this time I already only got even numbers. I hope you understood. That was the thing to do. Now let me comment all of it. And now coming back to our presentation. So coming to the next question, multiplication table. In this question, for loop is used, arithmetic operators are used, and formatted output is preferred. Sample input output, if we give 7 as input, the output should be 7 into 1 is equal to 7. Hint is that loop variable represent the multiplier 1 to 10. So use I from 1 to 10 and print n into I. So starting loop from 0 is a mistake. Table will include 0 into n because of that. So coming to our VS Code, hashtag include IOStream using namespace standard int main return 0. So let's say int I is equal to 1 as we know, and also int n. And now I will take n as input here. So let's say for I is equal to 1, I is less than equal to 10, I plus plus, cout n into I is equal to n into I. And I believe that's it. We have completed our code. So let's say here if I give 7 as input, It simply gives 7 into 1 is equal to 7, 7 into 2 is equal to 14 and so on. Let's add end line also here. And now when I run a code again and I say 7, now the output is very nice in a structured way. So our third question is also done. Coming to our presentation, question number 4. Reverse counting, in which means we have to go from n to 1, not 1 to n. So it requires decrement operator like I minus, and I have to include loop boundary conditions. So if input is 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 is the output for the input 10. It is int I is equal to n, I greater than equal to 1, I minus minus. Simply. So I believe we have understood the question. Coming back to our presentation, hashtag include iostream using namespace standard int main return 0. So here I take int n and I say for int I is equal to n, I is equal to 1, I minus, and I will say cout I, and after that end of line. So when I run this code, you see it just continues. So there is a minor update to do it. And the thing is that I should not take I is equal to 1, I should use I greater than equal to 1. And simply if now I run this, actually the matter is I have to take n as input also. So I will say enter the number and I will take it as n. So yeah, now the code is complete, and when I run this code, it says a number, let me say 22. Simply it starts from 22 and comes to all the way towards 1. So this is the way to do this question. It's a little critical thinking also, and I hope you are coping with this, you are understanding this, because this is very important foundation for the language. Very much work of the language is done from these things only. Understand? So coming back to our presentation, next question, sum of first and natural numbers. Concept required is loop, accumulator variable, integer and arithmetic. So if say I say int 10, the output should be 55 because the sum of all the numbers up to 10 is 55. Int is initialize sum as 0 and take int I is equal to 1, I less than equal to n, and plus plus I. So sum plus equals to I, and then print sum. So I think I have understood the question. So let me come back to VS Code, and yes, we can start with it. Hashtag include IOStream using a namespace standard, and here I will take n as input here. So coming to the main thing, the for loop here is strategic. So I will start int I is equal to n. Actually the thing is I should not be is equal to n, I should be 1 only. But for the ending it should be I less than equal to n. Actually I less than equal to n is correct, but n is small, and I plus plus. One second. I less than equal to n. Why is it showing some red? For int, let me say int I equals to 1 here also. Actually yeah, the problem is I should use this here. That was the thing. A comma was added by mistake. So I will say here sum plus equals to I, and I will initialize sum also int sum equals to 0. So sum's value gets added, and after the loop executed, afterwards it we will say print out the sum. Let's add some quote here also. The total sum is correct. So now if I say 10, simply the total sum is 55, which is correct by our side, and also which is actually correct. So yeah, we have done halfway there, I believe. Coming to our presentation, yeah, we have done 5 questions, 5 left. Coming to the 6th question, factorial of a number. Concepts required are loop, multiplication, accumulator variable. Use long for larger results. Sample input, if 5 is given, then output is 120. Hint is that initialized result is equal to 1, and take for int I is equal to 1, I less than equal to n plus plus I, and result multiplied by I. So it's a very correct way, so we can use it. The mistake can be that we initialize result by 0, so result should be initialized with 1 only. So coming to our VS Code screen, here hashtag include iostream using namespace standard int main return 0. So let me say int result equal to 1. I will take int n also. I will say user to enter the number to get its factorial value seen, and now the loop for int I is equal to 1, I less than equal to n, I plus plus. We will simply multiply it. So result is equal to result into I, and after the loop I will say the factorial value is I believe yes, done. So let's say if the given number is 5, so 5 will come into n and result is 1. So firstly say int I is equal to 1. So the result becomes 1 into 1, and then again the loop continues. This time i's value become 2 and 2 is less than 5, so it will continue. So then the result value will become result into 2. Then again I value will be 3, 3 is less than equal to n. So result will become result into 3. Understand it? So the thing is, the value result which we have taken, we should take it as long, double long, long long, which will help us to get even better. Understand it? To get even better output. I believe we are correct totally. So for further work, if it's incorrect we will see. Otherwise let me run the code, and if I say 5, yes we are correct, the factorial value becomes 120, which is absolutely correct. So our thinking of it is very nice. But a better way to frame it, even to take the border values. Let me understand you. If I take the value as 0, it says the factorial value is 0, which is incorrect. The factorial value is not of 0 is not 1. So we will take if else also. So we will simply say if n is equal to 0, we will simply see out the value is 0. And for the else part, we will include all of this work inside it. Understood? So now it's even more better. and also covers the border case. I hope you can see the screen, and let me once clear wait. Let me clear. Now when I run the code, I say 0 as the value, it says the value is 0 and the factorial value is 1. So the matter is we have included cout outside the loop, but we will cut it and add it after the for loop, but inside the else loop, else conditional statement. So now when I run it and I give 0, it simply gives the value 0, and whenever I run and I say that any number, let's say 10, it gives the factorial value as this. See it, it will be correct only. So yes, we have done this question very nicely, commenting it and coming to our next question without wasting any further time. And the next question is Fibonacci series. A very important question. Fibonacci series. Concept required are loops, multiple variables, updated each iteration, and sequence generation. If input is 10, the output is like 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34. So hint is initialize a is equal to 0, b is equal to loop 1, loop n times print a and next is equal to a plus b, a is equal to b, b is equal to next. This is a very nicely explained. The common mistake can be updating variable in the wrong order. Let me make you understand it a little more better. Coming to the VS Code, and let me start with the question. 1 second. So simply we will start with hashtag include IOStream using namespace standard int main return 0. We will say int n, and we will say user to enter the number of terms. You understand it? We are asking the user to enter the number of terms, and we will say int first equals to 0 and int second equals to 1. I will explain you. So if I say for int I is equal to 0, the matter here is that int I should not be taken as 0, it should be taken as 1, and I less than equal to n I plus plus, we will say cout the value of first, and I prefer handle here, but handle should not be included. Instead I can take this also here. That's a more better and a preferred way. So I believe I have done correctly this. Now the question, as the question says, int next is equal to first plus second, but the main three lines of code is this. Firstly we will take int next is equal to first plus second. Second we will take first is equal to second. Understand, before is first plus second, and the next line is first is equal to second, and the third line is second is equal to next. What it does is it replaces it completely. So let's say I believe that I have done it nicely. 1 second. So C in N was required here. I thought I have done it. So now when I run the code, 1 second, let me delete it. And now if I run the code and it asks me to enter the number of terms. So let's say I write 10 here. It simply gives this output, and let me show you that the same output is here as a given. So it means we are correct, and we have done this question also. So coming to the next one, prime number checker. Concept required are loops, conditional logic, modulus, operator for divisibility test. So say if input is 13, the output should be prime number. Int handle n less than equal to 1 separately and check divisors from 2 up to square root n for efficiency. And common mistake is not handling 0 and 1 correctly or checking divisors up to n minus 1. So this is a little bit of advanced level. It's a little more tricky. But yeah, we will do this also. Coming to our VS Code, commenting all of it. Let me write all of the boilerplate. Hashtag include IO stream using namespace standard, int main, and return 0. So yeah, till here our boilerplate work is done. So I will say int n, and I will say bool. Bool means boolean, which refers to the operators which have true and false in them. So if I say is prime is equal to true here, I should use true, the t with normal t. So coming to the next line, we will say cout. I will say the user to enter a number. Cin, n will be that number. So here till here it is confirmed that n will be that number. So we will say if n is less than 1, I will simply say cout, and I can simply not cout, I will use is prime is equal to false. I could use that also, but this is a little better way, I think. So if n is less than equal to 1 is prime becomes false, and for the else part, inside it we will take a for loop. For int I is equal to 2, I less than equal to n, I plus plus. I prefer only take less than, not equal to also here. So inside this I will say if the number modulo I is equal to 0, which you understand if the number is the remainder of number with I is 0, simply it is not prime. Is prime becomes false. One second, too many A's here, and I will write break also here, because so that the code ends here. And below here, now we talk about if is prime. When in if statement we just write it and we don't take a condition, so it directly converts into true and false. So if is prime here refers to this statement of is will only work when the prime value will be true. So we will simply say cout n is a prime number. Add a space here also, and in the else we will say cout n is not a prime number. So yeah, I believe my code is correct and it's up to what should be done. I believe here I should take less than equal to. So now when I run the number and I will say enter the number 21, it say 21 is not a prime number. Why? Because 21 is divisible by 3 also. But instead, if I run it and I say 23, it says 23 is a prime number. Let me run again for you. Let me say 7. It says 7 is a prime number. And what if I say 1 here? It says 1 is not a prime number. That is the matter I was talking about. So a little bit long code, but I hope you have understood it. Do tell me in comments if you have any doubt. I will give it reply. I will explain you everything in case you don't understand. And additionally, I have included all of the content in the pinned comment and also description, you can check. So coming to our presentation, here I have included the last two questions in the same slide. So question number 9 first, we will see it reverse a number. So concept is while loop, modulus, integer division, input. If 1 2 3 4 5 is input, the output should be 5 4 3 2 1. So hint is extract last digit with n modulus 10 and append to reversed. Then n divided by is equal to 10. And the mistake is forgetting to remove process digit. So yeah, this is also a very advanced one, but we will do it. Coming to our VS Code screen, firstly let me write all of the boilerplate work. Hashtag include iostream using namespace standard int main return 0. So yeah, let me take int num and reverse is equal to 0. So you can understand that int is num, the number that will be taken from user, and reverse is taken 0 here. So firstly we will say user to enter the number and I will take it as input in num. and below it I will take a while loop. Understand? This time we are taking a while loop because there is specific thing that we are not aware of number of iterations. You understand it? That's why the specifically we have used while loop. I will say int digit is equal to number modulus 10, and I will say reverse is equal to reverse into 10 plus the specific thing is here that I will not use just reverse into 10 but I will add the digit value here also. So coming to the last here in the while loop thing, that will be num divided by equals to 10. So I believe our while loop work is done. So simply we will say cout reversed number and I will say reverse here. So it will give me the reverse number of it. So let me try and run the code. If I say 1 2 3 4 5, the output comes as 5 4 3 2 1. So I hope you have understood this question also. Coming to our presentation, the last question, the palindrome number. So the question number 10 is palindrome number. Concepts like while loop, reverse logic, if statement are used. It's a very advanced question. If you are able to do this question by yourself only, means you are very efficient, very good, and you are doing well. I want to say you keep doing that and never doubt yourself unnecessary for not valid things. So example, if input is 121, it gives as palindrome, and input is 123, it gives not palindrome. The thing is that palindrome number is the number which looks same if we look from front or if we look from back. So 121 is the same. If we reverse it, it will become 121 only. Understand? Or the here it say 1 to 1, and if we start from last, it will say 1 to 1. So it is palindrome. That's the thing we say for it. So I believe we have understood the question how it is. We can carry on by trying the last question here for this episode. Let me write the boilerplate hashtag IO stream using namespace standard int main return 0. So here I will say firstly int number, int original equals to 0, int understood, int original, int num, and int reverse is equal to 0. Original is just declared. Yes. I will now say user to enter the number and I will take it as num. Let me reduce it. Yes. So now it won't be red. So after this we will simply say original is the num that we have. I believe you understand this. Original is equal to num. Now we will say take a while loop while num is not equal to 0, I will say int digit is num modulo 10, and reverse is equal to reverse into 10, and I will add digit here. The same way we have done the question in the last question, but it will include a little higher difficulty also. I will now, the last thing is num divide by equals to 10, and our while loop work is done. But below this while loop also I will have if, and in if I will say, understand the thing, the original is num before and we have converted its reverse here in the while loop, and its reverse is in reverse. So we will simply say if original is equal to reverse, we will enter simply that num, that the num is a palindrome number, and for the else part we will say the number is not a palindrome number. So with this I believe our question is done. So let's say if I run the code and I say 1 to 1, it gives 0 there. The thing is, why it gives 0 there? Because I have not, should not use num here. Instead I should use original here. Because original becomes literally the number itself. In this line you can see original becomes num, and further num's value updates, checks, but original remains the same. So we will now, if I run the code and I will say 121, it says 121 is a palindrome number. And if I run a code again and I say any 123, let's say, is not a palindrome number. So one thing I should explain you this three, it's occupying 3 lines, but we can make it to a single line. So why not, let's do it. So if I say int num, I say comma, I say original, and I say reverse equals to 0, and I will comment all of this for specifically for you. So in notes you can understand that these 3 lines convert to this single line, and it's a little more better and more systematic way to understand the question. So with this question, we have the combined learning output we have gained is that we have mastered digit manipulation, we have mastered state preservation, and applying multiple loop techniques to solve compound problems. And we have these steps I have explained and implemented in VS Code. I have included test edge cases and add input validation also. So it's now your turn to make it nicely so that it's easy to work. And one thing I should say, you have successfully completed all 10 practice problems. These weren't just coding exercises, these were designed to strengthen your logical thinking and problem solving skills. If any question felt challenging, don't skip it. Revisit it and try solving it again without looking at the solution. That's where real impact happens. If you enjoyed this practice lab, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to Shift Core, and share it with your friends. In the next episode, we will begin with one of the most exciting topics in C++, which is pattern printing. Very important, where you will learn how to use nested loops to create different patterns step by step. Until then, keep coding, keep practicing, and remember, master the core, build the future. Signing off, Shift Core.